host all the seniors at Troy, and that'll be against UT Arlington. So still a lot of basketball left, and Troy right now is not playing that well because of injuries and some other problems that hopefully they'll get straightened out before the end of the season. But right now, things do not look very good for Troy University men's basketball. But the women, on the other hand, are playing outstanding basketball. And in fact, this weekend, they've got a big game with South Alabama. So, you folks want to get out and see some good basketball. It's free admission, and at this Saturday. Good morning, you on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hi, morning.
Where you calling from, sir?
Calling from Grayton Beach, Florida. I'm sponsored today by AJ's Grayton Beach, Taringo Grayton Beach, soon to be Red Bar Grayton Beach.
Okay, man. Well, that's great. And how far along is the Red Bar?
I tell you what, they've put the frame up, the roof's on, so they're already starting to do work inside. Outside's almost looking done. Looks really good. They're making a lot of progress.
Well, it took them a while to get started, but once they got started, doing pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, I talked to the owner, Ollie, down here, and he said they're shooting for June the 1st, and if they keep on going like they're going, considering it's not February yet, that's a good possibility. I can see that happening. No
question about it, and hopefully that'll be will happen. Of course, the Red Bar, located at Grayton Beach, is one of the outstanding places to eat along the Florida coast, and it's been a famous place for a long time. Only place I know down there that buses their clientele in.
Yeah, you kind of have to. There's not a whole lot of parking. They have a big lot across the street past Grayton on 30A where a lot of different places run shuttles. Seaside has about 2 shuttles that runs from there. The Red Bar has one, and then this little restaurant near the Red Bar has one too, Taringo. So it's kind of the way it works. Out in my yard, I could literally see, when the Red Bar opens back up. I mean, I can't imagine how many people will just be walking down there to try to get in. So it's going to be a whole different world. Of course, we were extremely upset when it burned to the ground, but we moved down in March, so it's hard to believe we're coming up on a year living in Florida. I actually sent a picture to Mom and Camille and Rebecca of my new Florida tag. So the first time in my life I'm sporting a Florida tag and not an Alabama tag. It feels kind of weird a little bit.
Yeah, no question about it. Speaking of your sister Rebecca, we want to wish her a happy birthday. Rebecca Amos in Birmingham, Alabama, has a birthday today, and I know you want to wish her a happy birthday. And
she's former staff meteorologist Rebecca Amos, and was a weather girl for several years throughout Alabama and Florida and Mississippi, and now is doing production work and television work for a huge Catholic television station called EWTN. So
she's also our tennis expert. Is that right?
Yeah, Nadal got shockingly defeated in the Australian Open a night ago, so she's got to be pretty upset about that. Yeah. That's her favorite player.
And who beat Nadal?
Somebody I'd never even heard of. It was a huge upset.
Well, Federer got killed yesterday, so he's out of it.
One of my favorite...
Excuse me. I don't want to make that clear. I just used that as he didn't get killed. He got beat soundly in tennis by Djokovic.
One of my favorite events in golf is happening this weekend. They're playing in Phoenix, and they'll be playing on that 16th hole par 3 where there's like what, 50 to 60,000 fans in that arena, and they're all screaming and hollering at the players, and of course they're all, you know, wearing different kind of crazy outfits, and
that's right.
Drinking way too much. It's the only time in golf where the fans can actually scream and holler.
You won't see a quiet sign, you know, like somebody getting ready to putt. You won't see a quiet sign. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean it is definitely one of those events that's unique for golf. I definitely enjoy that tournament, so that'll be fun to start watching today.
And of course, Super Bowl weekend, and I want to mention Piggly Wiggly on South 39th Street, or North 39th Street in Troy, and in the Marketplace Shopping Center, has their ribeye steaks on sale for $7.99, and they'll cut them any size that you want them. And of course, that's a great deal. That's a boneless ribeye steak, $7.99 a pound. They've got whole fryers, 99 cents a pound. They've got fresh pork spare ribs, $1.79 a pound. This is at Piggly Wiggly. They've got the brine cocktail sausages, 2 for $5, 2 containers for $5, and then they got the ballpark Franks, 2 for $4. They've got sirloin pork chops, 99 cents a pound. They've got the bacon, you won't beat this at all. Man, this is a deal. Brine sliced bacon, 2 12-ounce packages for $5. That's a great buy there.
Yeah, that is a great buy. I'll tell you what, that's the craziest thing living down here is bacon. Everywhere you go, it's like $7.
Yeah, that's right. Matfield Party Wings, $4.95 a pound. Seabass Cooked Shrimp Ring, $4.25. Coca-Cola's 3 12-packs for $10. The sales just go on and on and on at Piggly Wiggly right here in Troy. And Steve, we appreciate your business and appreciate you so much. And get out. How about McKenzie Cream Style Corn? 4 for $5. That's pretty good. And their produce is fantastic. There's no better place to buy your produce, and also your meat department is. Those guys will do anything you ask them to do and to make your dining pleasure. And we appreciate
you don't see too many pigs in Florida. They're dominated down here by Publix and Winn-Dixie.
Yeah, that's right. You know, a local man, I'm not going to mention it, owns the Piggly Wiggly store there at the entranceway to Panama City. Did you know that?
Yeah, in Sunnyside.
Yeah, a local guy owns that building. I want to mention a great restaurant when you're at the beach is, it's not the prettiest place in the world, but you know what? Pretty is not always meant that the food's good, or vice versa. You know, you don't have to be pretty to be good. We're talking about Sunnyside Grill, Mike. If you like ham and eggs like I do, eggs overnight with a thick piece of ham and hot buttered grits and toast, you won't find a better meal anywhere for breakfast than Sunnyside Grill. And then to top it all off, tell them to put their wonderful, and I mean wonderful, pancakes out in front of you. Just say, hey, I want ham and eggs with a short stack in the middle to munch on. How about that?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite places. I mean, I love their omelets. Always get, bacon, egg, and cheese omelets with mushrooms on them. I mean, that's one of my favorites.
Somebody told me that they saw that you had a 6-egg omelet one day. Was you able to eat all that?
I had a 4-egg omelet. What a 6-egg omelet.
Well, I thought it was a 6-egg. Why not? If you got a 4-egg, you can he'll fix you a 6-egg, won't he?
I'll tell you what, they have great lunch, too. They have great meatloaf on Mondays. I think Tuesday or Wednesdays they have fried chicken. They have whole catfish one day a week, too, if you like catfish. Yeah. I tell you what they do also is they have nachos that are really good. Yeah. I mean, I'm doing Atkins right now, so I can't really, eat a lot of the stuff I'm talking about. But it's really
Let me tell you something else that they'll do.
You got to get in there by 11 if you want breakfast, and then you got to be in there by I think 2:30. They close every day, so you don't have a huge window if you want to get in there.
You know, and I'll tell you something that they'll do too. You know, they've got draft beer at still at $1 a glass. But what they'll do, if you go by the grocery store and get you a gallon of water, you can go back and you empty it, and you say, give it to them. Say, put some of that cold brew in there, and they'll do it for you. Can you believe that?
They also sell bags of ice. They sell everything in there.
Oh, I know it. What I'm saying, and you don't find many people that'll do that anymore. You know what you do, and then you head to the beach, and have a good time.
Yeah, you're talking about draft beer in a gallon jug.
That's right. Yeah.
Alabama lands a grad transfer, so Alabama got into the transfer portal and got a grad transfer tight end out of North Carolina. His name's Carl Tucker. He started 20 games in his career and was first-team All-ACC in 2018. So,
did he play at North Carolina, or where did he play?
Yeah, he's a grad transfer from North Carolina.
Okay, I got you.
In 2018, so he'll help Alabama at tight end, which is good. At Florida State, we're looking at him. Tennessee and Washington, we're looking at him as well. So, nice little pickup for the offense to add a guy that was All-SEC at tight end. So that's good.
I don't know who utilizes the tight end a lot. Alabama really doesn't utilize them very much, do they?
I don't know. They had Irv Smith. He ended up being an early second-round pick. He was phenomenal at tight end for Alabama. And then,
but they don't throw to him that much, though, do they?
Yeah, Irv Smith had over 40 catches.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that Alabama's tight end had over 40 catches?
Not last year, but the year before.
Yeah, okay.
You don't remember big number 82, Herb Smith?
Yeah, I got you. You're exactly right.
Some of the offensive coordinators kind of hard to keep up with, who's getting the ball and who's not.
Yeah, you're right. No question
about it. I tell you what, the Alabama basketball fans last night had to be crying because Tristan Wofford, the kid out of Mountain Brook, all he did last night in Baton Rouge is score 17 points and get 15 rebounds and had 5 assists for LSU last night.
Yeah, and of course he was
a Mountain Brook kid leaving Birmingham, where he could drive 45 minutes to Tuscaloosa. Instead, he's playing in Baton Rouge for LSU. It's hard to take for Alabama fans. I know it's hard for me to watch.
Alabama played them tough for a half, but gosh, once LSU got going,
they're down by 16 in the half.
Well, maybe I was watching a different game. They were down by 6 when I saw them. Maybe it was early. That was at one time early in the second half. They came back a little bit, and then they got blown out. What was the final score? Do you know?
It's one of those situations. Alabama. I think they were 6-point underdog going into that game, and LSU is now undefeated in the SEC, 16-4 overall. They've got a really good team. It was a game a lot of people didn't think they'd win, but also didn't think they'd get beat by 14.
Yeah. No question about it. Next week, high school basketball playoffs start. Can you believe that? They're moving right along, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just, I guess, that time of year. I was reading this article, Dad. This is hard to believe how many transfers have transferred out of South Alabama since Steve Campbell has taken over as head coach down there. They've now had 13 players transfer out after the end of this past season, where they went 2-10. So Steve Campbell and Kenny Anfield and Haystack Stewart, we know those guys really well. Well, they are really struggling to find players that they want to stay and play at South Alabama. And, of course, this is probably his final year as a coach. If he doesn't at least get to 500, they're moving into a new stadium at South Alabama. It's going to hold 26,000 people right there on campus. Very strange what's going on down there. Yeah. I've never seen – I would say they've had at least – close to 35 players leave in the last 2.5 years.
I marvel at how they've been able to keep from, either he having to change his whole staff or they fire the whole bunch. What do you think?
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing. He's kept all his assistants as well. I tell you what, whoever the athletic director is, he definitely has some patience. So,
well, I know, and we've seen that happen many times. That an AD hold on to a coach, win or lose, and they'll turn it around on you. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the Sun Belt is a very competitive league, I'd say. I mean, it's one of those leagues that, I mean, South Alabama's been down, and then really, there's not too many just cupcake teams. I mean, even Coastal Carolina's been decent, and La Monroe's always decent. So there's not really just like some really just like easy wins out there.
Yeah. No, it's not easy, and it's getting more competitive. Talking about the Sun Belt, more competitive every year. And
I mean, basically, Coastal Carolina lost. Of course, Troy lost in overtime to Coastal Carolina, even though they actually probably should have won the game. They stopped them on fourth down, and well, no, they did lose in overtime. They lost at the end of the game. Sorry, they lost at the end of the game to Coastal Carolina. Of course, Troy stopped them on fourth down, and then third down. No, they stopped them on fourth down, and then they called a penalty on Troy.
That's right.
And let them have another chance, and then they won the game.
Yeah, and that kept Troy from going to a bowl right there.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll tell you this: I ride by there every day, and they're out there at 6 o'clock in the morning. And they're working out this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they've done that all week, last week and this week. I don't know if it ends this week or not, but hey, that's pretty tough work, no question about it.
Yeah, there's an article out on AL.com about the former players from each school in Alabama that have played in Super Bowls. And this is really a great credit to Troy. This is players that played at Troy University or Troy State that played in the Super Bowl. Mario Addison, defensive end out of Terrence. Of course, he's still playing for the Carolina Panthers, made a special teams tackle for the Panthers in a 24-10 loss in Super Bowl in 2016. Kerry Jenkins, guard from Troy, started for the Buccaneers when they won 48-21 in 2003 in the Super Bowl. Terrell Jernigan, at wide receiver, returned 3 kickoffs for 71 yards in the Giants' amazing victory 21-17 over the Patriots in 2012 in the Super Bowl. Virgil C. played wide receiver, played in the game when the Redskins won 27-17 in 1983.
He was one of those Smurfs. Do you remember they call them the real small wide receivers? They call them Smurfs.
And then Lawrence Tynes, place kicker, made a 32-yard field goal and 2 extra points in the Giants' 17-14 victory over the Patriots in 2008. And then he made field goals of 33 and 38 and an extra point in the Giants' 21-7 victory over the Patriots in 2012. So that means that Lawrence Tynes was a part of 2 Super Bowls.
That's right.
And then Osi Umenyiora, defensive end, made 4 tackles and recovered a fumble in the Giants' 17-14 victory over the Patriots in 2008. And then he had a tackle and 2 quarterback hits in the Giants' 21-17 victory over the Patriots in 2012. So both of those guys won 2 Super Bowls, Lawrence Tynes and Osi Umenyiora.
Yeah.
And then the all-time greats of Troy history, all he did in the Super Bowl when the Broncos beat Cam 24-10. DeMarcus Ware, outside linebacker, had 5 tackles, 2 sacks, and 4 quarterback hits as the Broncos beat Cam.
Yeah. They
had Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware, and Cam didn't have a chance.
That's right. The great.
So if you count those numbers, that's 4, 5, 6, 7 guys from Troy have played in Super Bowls.
That's great. No question about it. That's great. Great to know, Mike. Appreciate it. Mike.
Of course, Lawrence Tynes, we always said he was a better pro kicker than he was a kicker at Troy.
Oh, yeah, he was. No question about it. Of course, we appreciate Sanders Truck Lines this morning for being one of our sponsors. And, of course, if you're looking for a great career in the trucking industry, there's no better place than right here at Sanders Truck Lines. And we appreciate them very much. Kim May's in the house, Mike, and you know what that means, don't you?
The bowls?
The quarts. The quart that's a quarts of camp stew, Mike, the best camp stew in the world, and that's coming up very soon. And best way in the world to give to a project, is if you're gonna give to something, it's always nice to get something back. So I donate $100 to the Salvation Army, and they give me 10 quarts of camp stew, right? And hey, that's what I call giving back to a worthy cause.
Yeah, that's really good stuff. I know she's given out her chili recipe on the show before.
Yeah, and you know what? We might get her to do that today because everybody's wanting chili. I tell you, her daddy.
Like chili weather.
Her daddy made the best chili you'll find anywhere. She makes the same chili. But, we'll be talking right after this break to Kim, and we'll see what's going on. And I know this, that it's the best opportunity in the world to give to a great cause and get some delicious camp stew in return. We'll be right back.
Big discounts, big selection, and really big deals. It's the big pre-owned sale. Only at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Pre-owned vehicles start at $29.95. Over 50 vehicles under $15,000. $29 down. And you can drive today or take advantage of payments starting at $99 a month. That's $29 down. And payments starting as low as $99. From Montgomery to Dothan. The best pre-owned deal are at Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or online at PremierChrysler.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
At Marguerite's, we've been designing and crafting custom jewelry for 4 generations. It's an art for master jewelers. There's really no room for error. It doesn't matter how big the diamond is. You don't expect anything less than perfection. What matters is quality, beauty, and value. After all these decades, your engagement ring is still our greatest pride. Marguerite's exquisite jewelry.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Napa Know-How. Ladies and gentlemen, back to our show, and there she is.
Good morning.
There she is, Miss America.
No, it's Miss Salvation
there
Army.
There she is. Oh, how beautiful, Miss Salvation Army.
It's gonna be, who does your hair?
Yeah, yep. Who does your hair?
Me.
You know, Mike, we like to do these sort of question people on some one-liners, and one of them was, she pulled my hair. What show was it? What movie was that, Mike?
Coal Miner's Daughter.
You got it. How did you know that?
I've been doing this show for 8 years. That's all.
Hey, all right. Hey, how about this? Here's Johnny.
That's Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Oh, God.
No, I know that one.
What was it?
The Johnny Carson show.
No. Of course, Johnny Carson.
Johnny is Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Yeah, this was the movie.
Okay.
Hey, all right. Just make my day.
That's Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, that's easy to get there. And Clint's coming back out with another movie.
Yeah.
He's 90 years old, isn't he, Mike?
He's pretty old.
Yeah, I mean, he lives out at Pebble Beach.
Right down. I want you to give us a rundown, and Mike's real good at this. A rundown on him, and tell us how old he is, Clint Eastwood.
I mean, I think he's pretty close to late 80s for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he's
89 years old, and he's still making pictures, and he's my favorite. I tell you, Clint Eastwood is just great. And hey, another one. I had another one on the top of my what brain of mine is left, and that I don't think you'll get.
Yeah, he's young. He's young compared to Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas is 103.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
is he 103, Kirk Douglas?
He is.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing? Boy, and still, of course, you know, a lot of people don't realize who his son is. You know, Michael Douglas.
Everybody knows who Michael Douglas is.
Well, they might not keep up with movies like you do, you know.
Well, Betty White's in her 90s.
Is she really?
Oh, Betty White's 99, I think.
99. Boy, ain't that something? That is something.
And she actually still acts. I mean,
She's still working. Yeah.
Steve Camp is 45, Mike.
Betty White is 98.
Oh gosh, is that something?
It's still working.
Yeah. Well, you know, the easiest one-liner was Charlotte. Frankly, Charlotte, I don't.
Give a darn.
Give a darn.
Yeah, that was Red Butler.
Yeah. It's fun to come up with some of these one-liners. Ladies and gentlemen.
What's been going on at the Salvation Army?
Ah, you name it. It's been going on. We stay so busy. We're getting ready for our camp stew. Our Empty Bowls luncheon is coming up on April the 17th. So we'll finish our camp stew next week and get started with our Empty Bowls luncheon. We've already got our entertainment, our venue, you know, so we're already started working on that.
And of course,
I bet y'all make a lot of college kids happy. All y'all's deals up there, you know, a lot of college kids are all into wearing old T-shirts and old jeans and all kinds of stuff. So I'm sure you'll probably have some kids walk over there and try to buy some stuff.
We have some college kids that are regular customers. They come like every day or every other day.
Mike, every time I walk in there, I find something I want. You know how I collect records, 45s. I walked out with a handful of 45s the other day, Mike, and I was ashamed to pay them. They didn't want much for them. I was almost ashamed to pay them. When I know I could turn around and make $3 a piece off of them if I wanted to.
True.
I didn't realize. I moved down to the beach in March, and I swear I've never in my life seen so many thrift stores down on 98 and down in Destin, Panama City Beach, and I would imagine a college town. I mean, kids would really, love a deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what all kinds of things do y'all have there? I mean, that people wouldn't even be aware of.
One thing, bedding, isn't it? Y'all get
We
a lot of
have
bedding,
just
don't you?
about anything. The only thing that we don't sell is mattresses and baby beds and car seats.
Yeah.
Do y'all have furniture?
Furniture, appliances, dishes, cookware, bedding, linens, towels, knickknacks, crystal, any kind of knickknacks, odds and ends,
record
radios.
players, golf clubs. Hey, I bet I bought 100 golf clubs from her over the years.
All kinds of clothing and shoes and coats, knives,
Coffee makers and stuff?
coffee makers, movies. We have CD, DVDs, CDs, VHS. We have players.
Sunglasses, reading glasses.
Yeah. We have everything.
Hey, rims for glasses.
Exercise equipment,
Watches.
weights.
Let me just say this, ladies and gentlemen. I very rarely ever go in there that I don't buy something. And the books, and it's almost like a library, Mike. I walk back there a lot of times, and people are sitting back on some of those recliners they've got reading a book.
We have a book room. We try to keep it well organized and stocked.
We turned in about, no telling how much stuff when we moved down to our house. We got rid of a lot of stuff and turned it in. And I don't know, does Salvation Army, do they give you a write-off as well?
Yes.
Oh yeah, your mama takes full advantage of that. My wife drops by about once a week, once every 2 weeks, bringing things.
She does. She brings a lot of donations.
She's wanting me to empty my, and of course I need to empty my closet.
I've heard about this.
Have you really?
Yeah, his closet when you step in is about 4 feet deep.
Well, you know, one thing about it, though, you can always shut the door.
He's got the only closet you can't see your feet when you walk in.
Oh, I don't have many clothes, though, Mike. That's the good thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I might as well just stop shopping and just go to Troy and see what I want to wear for the next.
I could go in the golf club business. I could go in the sweater business. I could go in the sweater vest business. I could go in the tie business. I could go in the tie business. I believe I could stretch ties from my house to downtown Troy.
Well, I'm glad to know that. We need some ties.
Do you really?
You probably also have about 500 hats.
I do have a lot of hats, and I have a lot of ties.
You know something we get quite often that people need to take advantage of? We get a lot of nice, like Auburn and Alabama polo shirts and Troy University.
Yeah, a lot of hats, too.
With the emblem on them and really good shape and a lot of hats.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff's real popular.
Let me tell you this, and, you know, I've been coming one of your customers a long time. Of course, you and I are dear friends, I would think.
Yes, sir.
You've been on the show a lot.
We've both been.
I'm so jealous when I hear you on the radio. Ralph and them talking about you on the radio, and I said, "Listen, Ralph, you stay away from her. She's my girl." But
they're very good to me.
Yeah, I've known her ever since she was knee high to a grasshopper. She used to work all the turkey shoots, Mike. She used to work every one of them on Christmas and on Thanksgiving.
When I still was living at home, yes. And then my boys, when they got old enough.
Yeah. And what we're talking about, it was a fundraiser that your dad would put on.
Yeah.
And of course, her dad is a legendary man that was loved by so many people.
You probably don't remember this, but I used to work at Green's Drugstore, too.
Oh, did you? I didn't know that.
When I was in high school.
For GAM Green? No, I tell you what, I've frequented that place a lot.
Good hamburgers.
Oh, yeah. And great people, too. And but what we were talking about today, of course, Kim is the what you would call yourself, the manager or executive director or what?
The director.
The director of the
Pike County Salvation Army.
Pike County Salvation Army.
And we cover 4 counties.
Yeah. And tell us what's going on next Thursday.
Right now, what's going on is next week we will be cooking our camp stew.
Yeah.
It'll be ready Thursday. That will be February 6th. We'll have it back to the Salvation Army store by 12 noon, and we'll be there till 6 p.m. for those that need to pick up after work. And, of course, Carter will be preparing our camp stew. It's his recipe.
And he really has a great recipe. It is delicious camp stew.
And we already are selling a lot of it. We have a long list. We sell out every time. So if anybody out there would like camp stew, they need to call the Salvation Army at 808-1069 or call me, 672-4481, and reserve your quarts of camp stew that you want.
And it's happened to me. I'd go in there. I said, "Have you got any camp stew left?" And she said, "No, we've sold out." I said, "Well, I ordered some." "Oh, we have your order."
Yeah,
I like that.
If you pre-order, we'll have it.
And let me have that a second.
It's $10 a quart.
Let me tell you this. This will feed a family right here. And I love this on camp stew on light bread.
That's the way I
poured
like
it over light bread or over rice. I like it with rice, or I just like it out of the bowl. And of course, this is a great time of the year to serve camp stew because it's cold and rainy out there. Nothing better than a bowl of camp stew.
Exactly.
And I just reach into the freezer and stick it in the I put it in the sink and let it thaw pretty much, but once it's thawed, it's as good as if I just
It
opened the
freezes
can.
very well.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good to put in the freezer.
It really is. And of course, that right there for $10 will feed probably a family of 4. That's a good container, and of course, like I said, $100 gift to the Salvation Army would get you 10 of these.
Exactly.
Or a $50 gift to the Salvation Army would give you 5 of these, or $40 for these. One of the best deals in town, no question about it.
And the thing is, all the camp stew that you buy, and it's a delicious product, all the proceeds benefits the Salvation Army, which we use for our social service programs.
You know,
So, it goes to a good cause.
You know, we don't see, we see the good part of life, pretty much. Most of us all, are spoiled with the way we live and the amenities that we all have and so forth. We don't see the tough times. Young people or young couples trying to go through town and they run out of gas, they don't have any money. The Salvation Army can help them, or they don't have a place to spend the night, and they have children, small children. The Salvation Army is there to help them. If they don't have many clothes to wear, or let's say, and they just have on the clothes on their back, the Salvation Army will help. It's
Or a house fire.
A house fire, and they lose everything. The Salvation Army is there. If there's a flood or a fire or a major disaster, the Salvation Army is there.
It's there.
It's one of the great one of the probably, I would say, one of the great places in America to when times get tough. The Salvation Army is there.
It's there. And we do disaster relief also. We're first responders.
Oh yeah.
And we had to be trained.
Sure.
And all that. Just a year or so ago, I had to go to training for a mass shooter.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of that now.
Sure.
So, we do a lot that people don't know about.
They're located in a perfect location as far as getting in and out, because you're right at the corner of what you would call it a busy corner, but you're right there on South Brunish Street, and open at what time every morning?
9 to 5,
9 to
Monday
5,
through
yeah.
Saturday.
And of course,
Monday through Saturday.
people are busy. Now, what happens? Like in the middle of the night, the police department calls you up and says, "Well, we've got a situation here where these people don't have anything; they're dead broke." You'll go out there. You'll help that person. You're not going to give him cash. You're going to give him a voucher for the gas. Is that right?
We don't give cash for anything.
Yeah.
We have accounts set up with different businesses, like a hotel, gas stations, and we do vouchers.
And so they make sure that you get what you need. Let's say diapers or milk. What do you do with things like that?
Well, we have a lot of that in our food bank.
Yeah.
We have dry milk. We don't have perishable
I
items.
understand,
We have diapers. We have dry milk.
Yeah.
We have baby formula.
Yeah.
So, but we don't have anything perishable. We are a small center, unlike the big cores like in Montgomery and Dothan. We're just a small service center, but we do what we can.
Yeah, and of course you work with or other organizations like the state health department and the Social Security. Well, not Social Security, but
OCAP.
With the different programs and so forth,
and Red Cross. We use the word Red Cross when necessary. When we need to.
Now, and of course, sometimes you got people that need help all the time, but they are really they can't get that help but once a month or once. How does that work?
Well, normally the food bank is every 3 months.
Yeah.
But you have to have a reason.
Yeah.
You have to have an emergency, unless it's an elderly person that just lives on Social Security or someone on disability. There's always exceptions. Then we help those people regularly.
You know, another great thing about Salvation Army is they'll come and get an item. Let's just say you have a stove or a refrigerator or
A nice couch.
a nice couch or an easy chair or whatever. On what days do y'all do that?
On Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's when my truck driver works.
So if I wanted to get rid of a lot of things, I can say, hey, I've got a stack of books, or I've got a bunch of bedding and those type of things.
Okay, I want everyone to keep in mind, my truck driver, he only works on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You
Yeah.
call him and schedule a time for pickup.
Sure.
But we only go out and pick up if there's furniture involved.
Okay.
We'll get the other stuff,
Sure.
but there has to be some furniture for it to be cost
Yeah,
effective.
exactly.
Because I have to pay him and pay for the,
And
it has to be cost
let's say you bought a
effective.
new refrigerator, and you want to give away your old one that was in really good
Absolutely.
shape. You know?
Absolutely.
So that goes pretty fast.
Yeah. Refrigerators, freezers, washers. But I had to be guaranteed
Freezers. Wait a minute. You mean freezers?
I
That I could put this in?
I get quite a few freezers
Yeah,
in.
exactly. And a frost-free freezer is nice, isn't it?
Yes, it is nice.
No question about it. Kim May's with us today, and what a lovely lady she is. And of course, she's been you've been with them now, over 10 years, I know.
13 years.
13 years of service to people of Pike and surrounding counties. And again, this is just one of the fundraisers. And see, what's important is and the guy that makes this camp stew is one of the most, what would you say,
community
community-minded person.
helps everybody.
In fact, if he gets involved in a project, you know it's going to be good. Carter Sanders, who is the former mayor of the town of Goshen, born and raised in Goshen, and he has been the person that has provided us with the best camp stew in the world to help raise money to help people in need. And you need cash flow and so forth. We need all kinds of items that we talked about earlier, but it's very important to have cash that when somebody needs. Now, do you get involved in medical situations?
The only thing we usually do is sometimes we'll buy someone's prescriptions.
Yeah.
Occasionally. We don't very often. And like I say, we're just a small center. And you were talking about the police calling. Now, when it's just me, I don't go out in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
For safety reasons, of course.
Sure.
Because, I don't have a staff to call on like the bigger Salvation Armies would. But what I usually do is they just come to see me the next morning when I'm in the office.
Sure.
A policeman will bring in whoever needs the help, and they'll get them where they need to go, and, we'll see us that kind of way.
Yeah.
But, a lot of things you have to think of the security issues also.
Oh, yeah.
Because, just me by myself, there's some things that I'm just not able to do.
Yeah. In fact, I'm sure the police see a lot of these situations where somebody broken down, their cars broke down on the highway. And now, do y'all provide, like you said, would you provide a place for them to stay that night, or one night?
Someone that qualifies, that has a legitimate reason, and we have the funds.
Yeah.
And a hotel that will cooperate.
You work with certain hotels in
Yes,
town?
right now I don't have one. I've got to set up another one
Yeah.
because my hotel, some of the people that I sent have not been very, they kind of mess the rooms up,
Sure,
so they don't want me to send anyone, so I've got to get a new hotel.
Oh boy!
But anyway, it's just part of life. But what I was going to say about the camp stew, you were talking about Carter. You know, he prepares it, and you
work with him too, though, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Now,
we cook it at my house.
All right, let's talk a little bit about it. We're talking about pork. We're talking about beef. We're talking about
chicken.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's the meat, and usually it's pulled meat, and then you've got tomatoes. Mm-hmm. You've got potatoes. Mm-hmm. You don't have corn.
Have cream corn.
Oh, you do have cream corn, but you don't have
onions.
That's right. Do you have onions in this? You don't have a lot of onions in the camp stew, though, do you?
Well, what we do is we cook the onions with meat.
I got
and it just sort of, so you really don't find like a crunchy onion in there.
Now, you don't have butter beans or anything like that, but we're talking about beef, pork, chicken, potatoes, tomatoes, and then corn, and that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Well, you ketchup, your hot sauce.
That's right.
That kind
and that certain, when you say
and those certain secret things
when he's doing this, I need a little. Do you put sugar in it?
No.
Do you put pepper in it? Salt.
We put a little salt.
Yeah.
Not usually
I'll
no
tell you
black
this,
pepper.
it's the best camp stew I've ever eaten. And that is a guy that has eaten camp stew all my life. Linda, my sister-in-law, Linda Amos, I know you make good camp stew. But this guy from Goshen can make stew. And there's no question about it. And anybody that knows Parker knows that anything he does, he's going to do it well.
That's right. And what I was going to mention, you were talking about how you eat your camp stew over bread. Carter's family, he makes the camp stew.
Sure.
They like to eat it over grits.
Now,
that might be good too.
Yeah, that's right. But it should be. And let me just say this: I love grits, but don't give me runny grits. Don't insult me with runny grits that's got grits all over it. I like my grits sort of thick. And I can understand putting a little stew on there, but I would prefer rice, pour it over rice.
I prefer light bread, like you said.
And if I don't have any rice, you know what I do? I go down to the Chinese restaurant and say, give me a pound of that rice.
Whatever.
Already, it is good rice,
yeah,
man. That white rice. See, I'm a white rice guy, And but Kim is with us, and our good friend, and of course you've been doing this a long time. How did the bell ringing go? Did y'all make money?
We did. We didn't do as good.
We're talking about the Christmas bell ringing. Go ahead and tell
the Red Kettle campaign. We did good. We didn't do as good as we did the year before. It's the first time we went down instead of up. But, it happens.
Yeah.
The kettles just weren't as full. Had a lot of bills, but they were all small.
Yeah.
It's just one of those years, but
what is the most? I shouldn't say this.
Had a lot of personal things going on.
Have you ever? I'm sure you count the money and so forth.
No, I don't count.
All right, but has anybody ever told you that they found that they had a $100 bill in one of the kettles?
Well, the bank counts our money. We just dump it in, bag it, and put it into the deposit.
Yeah. Which is a wonderful way to feel good at Christmas.
And if there's a $100 bill, they have those listed like 100, so many 20s, ones, change,
It'll surprise you, won't it?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, a lot of people are, there are a lot of volunteers, but if you want to do something special, that is a wonderful, wonderful a show of support and love for the Christmas season. I've always wondered, you've got the Red Kettle at Christmas. Why don't you do a Red Kettle at Easter or whatever?
Well, the Salvation Army, that's just their Christmas thing.
Yeah, sure.
It's just at Christmas.
And they've done it a long time, and it's been very successful.
Over 100 years.
Yeah. Well, of course, now, again, remember this next Thursday, and like a week from today, at noon, they'll have the camp stew ready. So Actually, if you want to serve the stew for your lunch on Thursday at noon, you can. You're gonna be able to get some. Is that right?
It'll still be hot.
Yeah. And of course, it goes to support people that are in need, and of course, you know, the cash profits and so forth. You know, when somebody does come, and let's say you give them food vouchers, you give them a hotel or you know, those type overnight accommodations, that type thing, and gas. That helps. How about a mechanic? Will you pay for a mechanic?
Well, I haven't so far, but
Yeah.
That's always a possibility. If we have someone that has a legitimate need and we have the funds, we help with most anything.
Yeah.
I've been paying a lot of rent and utilities the last couple
Yeah,
of
and
months.
I was wondering how you would do that. Would you just do it for the month or a week or what?
It's
How's that
just
work?
1 month's rent or 1 month's utilities. And they do have to have proof of an emergency,
Yeah.
what their emergency is.
But you'll pay the whole month. That is really, really good.
Yep.
And that you know, that mounts up. That's pretty expensive, isn't it?
It is.
But that's a wonderful gesture on the part of Salvation Army. I'm sure there are other organizations that might do some of this, but not in the volume of that you have to deal with. Is that right?
Well, we have so many different things. But there's a lot of other good organizations
Yeah.
to help. So we all try to work together.
You mentioned electric bill, like somebody has their electric. Let's just say it's a family of four, or family of three, 5 or 6, whatever, with small children, whatever. And during these cold months, his electricity goes off because he can't pay it. How does that work?
Okay, they have to come get to me before it's cut off.
Yeah.
But if they come to me and say, look, I need help with my electric bill, and we have the funds, and they bring me the needed documents and things
Yeah.
that I need, and proof of their emergency, like, you know, I'm short this month because my child was sick or in the hospital, or our car broke down, whatever it may be, then we just pay their electric bill directly to the company. We never give the client any money, any check, anything. It all goes directly to whatever's benefiting them, directly to their landlord or directly to the utility company.
I know it makes you feel good when you can help somebody. And
It does.
of course,
That's what we do.
You know, also you take donations at any time. Who do they mail their check to?
Mail it to our post office box.
All right, what is that?
It's the Salvation Army, post office box 592. That's
592.
Troy 36081.
And at any time, you know, a donation, 592. That's easy to remember. Or you could drop a check by your office on South Front Street. Is that right? Just
That's
say,
right.
hey, this is a donation I'd like to give, and inside you could have you know, if you wanted to go to a certain thing, they could
And yes, and we give you
earmark that, is
give
that
you a
right?
receipt for that for your taxes.
Exactly. And so, or the check itself could be a pretty good
That's
receipt.
right.
Is
The
that
check
right?
copy of the check's fine too.
You know, maybe
But some people want a receipt,
Yeah,
and
I know, and I
that's
agree.
good. We
I
give
agree.
them out if they want them.
addressed to the Salvation Army. Now, remember the way you do your taxes. All your donations ended on the 1st of January or the December 31st. And now anything you do will go toward the next
Starting a new year.
tax situation. Let me ask this, and you know, I was talking about my wife. She constantly bringing things by there, and y'all do a great job of working with her and so forth. But I bet you have some people that really, really give. Is that right?
Yeah, we have some people that give regularly. We
Yeah.
see them a lot. But, you know, mostly it's people that's buying some new furniture or cleaning out their house, or, and it's sad to say, people's elderly parents passing away, and they clean out the house. And sometimes in my job, I'll see someone's whole life come through, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think about that a lot, and I try to respect people's belongings.
Yeah. No question about it.
Sometimes it's a person's whole life.
Something else that you'll see a lot of is medical supplies, or like walkers, or like wheelchairs. You see a lot of that, at your place. And, let's just say you got a wheelchair and nobody used it. We'll take it to the Salvation Army. They'll find somebody to either buy it or you can give to,
That's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've had Kim on this show many times, and she's the real deal when it comes to helping people all over Pike and surrounding counties. Now, you actually are in Bullock County and Crenshaw County.
And Barber.
And Barber. So you've got a pretty big area to cover. And do you have drop-off areas pretty much different? You don't have that type thing, do you?
No, I'm just a small center, but we'll go pick up in those counties, and I work in those counties, help people in those counties, and we have people that ring for us in Barber County and Crenshaw County during the kettle season. But first, we are increasing our camp stew. We used to we used to make like 700 quarts. Now we make about 800 quarts.
800 quarts.
And last time we thought we were making 800 quarts, but it didn't quite turn out to be 8. But this time it will. So we're increasing our volume. So those people that didn't get any, we ran out. We should have plenty this time.
Exactly.
We've made all the necessary adjustments. We've got new pot, new burner, to accommodate.
And let me tell you something else, too, that's just wonderful. How many people do you know, friends, hand me that right there a second, would say our neighbors or the postman or whatever, or somebody shut in, that a warm bowl of camp stew would be wonderful. But so what I'm saying, your neighbor, your friends, people in the church, people that you know that would appreciate a quart of camp stew, it's just a wonderful gesture.
It is.
And I say this, go ahead and put me down for 10 of these.
Okay.
And not only am I going to feed my family, but I'm going to give it to people that I know that will enjoy it, and would be a good gesture on my part. A show of love would be a gift of a whole quart of camp stew, and I think it's a wonderful fundraiser. And again, I hate to say this again, but it's the truth. I love to give to programs that I get something back.
Yes.
I give to Troy University a lot of it but I usually buy football tickets and basketball tickets and baseball tickets, and then of course I give a donation too. But it's a lot of ways you can give and get nice treats back, like 10 quarts of camp stew. So I recommend this to you in your freezer. My wife says, "Well, I don't have any room left in the freezer." Well, then I get it and start driving around and said, "Hey, just wanted to show you how much I appreciate you working in my yard, how much I appreciate you taking care of my garbage when I'm gone."
Or just think about someone that's sick with a cold or flu.
That's right, exactly. No question about
That would be great.
It is wonderful. And
you can send a bunch to your daughter in Mountain Brook. She loves camp stew.
Oh, I know it. No question about it. And like last night, it was sort of rainy and little just miserable weather. Or actually, it was in the middle of the afternoon. I went took a late lunch and went downtown, and bought me a big bowl of chili. And it just hit the spot, chili and crackers, and of course, you know, just many times of the year, this comes in so good. No question about it.
And we just want to sell it, and we want everybody that wants some to be able to get it.
Yeah.
So that's why we've increased our volume. We're making a little more than we used to, so call in and place your order.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
808
it's
10.
Do y'all still stay up all night cooking it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she does. She stays up all night long.
It doesn't take all night, but it takes a good bit of the night. And
Y'all
then
cook it in a big kettle? Is that what
we have 5 of them.
5 of them, boy.
100-quart pots.
But now, I better be careful, because if you think about it, if a lot of people were buying 10 at a time, it doesn't last very long, does it?
That's right. And we do want to sell it, but
Do people
want
do
everybody
like me buy that many?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had someone buy 30 quarts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's great.
So, you know, if you want some, call us. It's 808-1069 because it does go fast. And we want you to get it. If you want some camp stew, we want you to have it.
Yeah.
And it is good.
Well, I tell you what, and you know, I tell you something else. Maybe the most important thing that I can say to you out there is everything is local. The money you raise, it stays at the local level.
Yes.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
The things that you do give away to the people that in need stays locally. Is
It's
that
all right here at my center.
So that is probably the best thing that I've said today was, you know, hey, you give to the Salvation Army, they're going to keep those funds right here in town, and going to take care of Troy and Pike County and those surrounding counties.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And again, you know, I know it's early to do this, but when you're in there picking up your, you said, hey, put me down to do the kettle. Put me down. I want to.
That is real early.
Yeah, Jacqueline Floyd.
I'll take your name and number.
My dear Jacqueline Floyd, one of my dearest friends. She did it last year at the very end of the Christmas holidays, which was just a few days before Christmas. She said it made her feel so good to have done that, and it's a great way to give back to the community.
It's very rewarding, yes.
No question about it. So that's something else that I guarantee y'all already taking a list, aren't you?
We have lists all the time.
Yeah, no question about it. Now, again, they're not going to bring this to your house. You got to come pick it up.
That's right.
No question about it.
And if you can't pick it up, just let us know, and we'll put it in the freezer for you. We have 3 freezers in the back just for our camp stew. So if you can't pick it up and you ordered, just let us know, and we'll freeze it for you.
Exactly right. And I could see, putting together a little cornbread or getting you several loaves of light bread and inviting everybody in the neighborhood over and said, hey, come over and have some stew.
Well, you know, we do have our camp stew at the Empty Bowls.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you sure do.
We have a big old pot of camp stew, and I make a big old pot of chili.
Exactly.
And we have all those soups. Now, don't forget the Empty Bowls Luncheon, April 17th.
April 17th, and it's always at Bush Memorial Baptist Church.
That's
and
right.
It's so well done and delicious, and I tell you, I really enjoy it every year. I think it's very unique. Those bowls, I eat cereal out of one of my bowls.
Did you?
Yeah, all the time. I use it all the time.
We have some very unique, colorful, artistic bowls.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the daughter of the legendary Lester Sanders, and Lester Sanders owned a business on the Banks Highway for many years, and they called it
Lester's Flat.
Lester's Flat, and a lot of local people would go by and listen.
Are y'all kin to Wally, or are y'all different Sanders?
Different set,
but
unfortunately.
But Lester and Wiley were good friends, weren't
They were very good friends, yes. Yes.
But those guys would start picking a tune, and everybody would drop by and have a good time. And Lester was preparing some camp stew or some chili. Everybody said, many times Sonny Williford, the late Sonny Williford, one of my very closest friends, we'd be riding along and say, let's go by Lester's and get some chili. All right, now, on this show, and only on this show, ladies and gentlemen, Kim May is going to give you Lester Flatt's chili recipe.
It's very simple. It's not even a complicated
I
recipe.
love it. I love that part of it. Go ahead.
Okay, it's 2 pounds of ground chuck.
2 pounds.
I usually have it ground, fresh.
Now you could have just regular ground beef, but you like ground chuck.
I like ground chuck or ground sirloin.
I got you.
Okay, I brown that with a small chopped up onion. I brown it, cook it all together.
With a small chopped onion. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, when that's done, then I throw it in my pot, and I put 2 cans of light red kidney beans.
2 cans of light red chili beans.
Kidney beans.
Kidney beans. All right, go ahead.
2 cans of pinto beans.
2 cans of pinto beans, usually dark or light, either one.
They just are pinto. They don't come in dark or light.
Okay, pinto green. Okay.
Okay. 2 cans of tomatoes.
2 cans of stewed or diced?
Whichever you prefer. It doesn't matter.
All right.
2 cans of tomato sauce.
All right, that surprises me a little bit. 2 cans of tomato sauce. Is that going to make it taste too tomatoey or what?
Well, that's how it's always been made.
All right, okay, I got you.
And you liked it, so.
Yeah, you're right. I sure did.
Okay, I put just a touch of garlic powder.
A touch of garlic powder.
Yeah, I just eyeball it just to taste.
Okay.
And your hot, I use the hot Mexican chili powder.
You do use the hot. I usually use the mild.
But you can use whichever kind of chili powder you prefer.
Is that?
And I put it to taste.
Yeah.
Depends on how hot you want it.
Yeah. Now McCormick's makes a good.
Does.
What do you call it? Powder.
Yeah.
Chili powder.
And that's just your personal preference for whatever kind of chili powder you want to use. And that is it.
Yeah.
And you just.
You put cheese and sour cream on it? That's what I do.
Well, my daddy always made what he called a Frito pie.
Yeah.
So usually that's what we do with ours. If we don't just eat it, just plain with crackers. But
I like to do with Dad with chili is, I can't do beans right now, do the Atkins style, but I'll do chili and then I'll grill a couple of hot dogs and I'll just put it over the hot dogs with some cheese on top.
Yeah, that's good. I like a chili dog.
That sounds good, no question about it.
And sometimes you got to let this simmer for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And sometimes I will add just a touch of sugar.
Yeah, I understand.
If it's a little tart, that tomato,
Exactly.
But that's a personal preference.
Now, do you just bring this to a boil? Is that what
and then let it simmer for
and then let it simmer for
an hour and a half.
And keep it. Oh, really?
Keep it stirring. Yeah.
Keep it stirring.
Yeah.
Hey, I was watching a show the other night, Mike. You know the name of it? My gangster show.
Your gangster show.
Yeah. Oh gosh, what was it?
Goodfellas.
Yeah, Goodfellas. And hey, he had that guy stirring that spaghetti sauce for hours. but let me just tell you this.
It's an Italian family making homemade pasta.
That's right. Yes, exactly. But this is Lester Sanders' world famous chili recipe, and here it is one more time. You take 2.
Charlie gave it to you.
No, one more time.
He's gonna read it out.
2 pounds of ground beef or ground chuck, and you go ahead and you brown it, and you put a little onion in there, chopped onion in there, and brown it with the hamburger meat. Then you take 2 cans of what kind of beans was that?
Light kidney beans.
Light chili beans. Then you take two cans of kidney beans.
No, pinto beans.
Pinto beans, excuse me, light kidney beans, and then two cans of pinto beans. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Then 2 cans of either sliced or diced tomatoes, or probably either
stewed, however you want it.
Or whatever, however
like
you want it, yeah. And then you do two
tomato sauce.
2 cans of tomato sauce. This could be Hunt's, or it could be any brand.
Any good
much.
brand, yeah.
And then let's see, you'll take a little garlic, put a little garlic in there, and then
your chili powder.
Your chili powder, that could be, and that'd be the last thing that you put in there, and of course it could be McCormick's or whatever.
Yes.
Chili powder, and then you stir it up real good. You could eat it as soon as it comes to a boil.
You could. I just like to simmer mine for a little while.
And you can simmer it. After you bring it to a boil, you can, like you said, let it simmer and, stir it occasionally and so forth, and you're ready to eat. Probably, 5 or 10 minutes after you, at the earliest. Of course, then some people wait an hour or more to eat it, but you like it simmered for about 30 minutes, don't you?
Well, I used to simmer mine a little longer.
Yeah, exactly. I understand. But it is Lester Flatt's world famous chili recipe, and of course, people like it with crackers and whatever. But on a cold night, chili is awfully good.
It is.
And so is camp stew, no question about it. But it's different. We're talking more about a soup than this is a thick stew. Mm-hmm. And it is delicious.
Yes, it is.
What is the difference in camp stew and Brunswick stew? Is there any
butter
difference?
beans.
The butter beans.
That's what right. I've been told.
Yeah, that's right. That would be it. But
I thought Brunswick stew has like pork and chicken in it.
Well, this does too.
Yeah.
This we have, Mike. We've got pork, we've got beef, and we've got chicken.
I have to ask Merriman. My brother-in-law cooked Brunswick stew for Christmas. I'll have to ask him what he put on it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, your Aunt Linda, Amos makes real good camp stew. Some people have that knack, Mm-hmm. And do you make the camp stew yourself? Of course. How many chickens and how many how many pounds of chicken?
For this?
Yeah, for yours.
Well, I probably couldn't tell you right off. I have it on an invoice that I use every year.
Yeah.
I used to get a big chili cook-off every year in Birmingham, and it was just huge. I mean, I think there was like 150 people compete in it. Yeah. And every single year, they would have 4 different teams place. And a lot of years that I went to it, they would have Waffle House represented there, and they would serve their Birch chili.
Oh, yeah.
Waffle House, and that would be sometimes the winner, or even in the top 2 or 3, which was shocking because everybody else was just kind of different families and a bunch of guys that make chilies and different banks and all kinds of different law firms, whoever was just trying to make chili for the competition. And still, Birch chili would win a lot. Yeah. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
From the Waffle House.
Yeah, from Waffle House.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you this, you know who's got the best chili dog in town? To me, without a doubt, is Hardee's. And then if you want it without onions, you just order it without onions, and they're gonna put the mustard on there, and they're gonna.
Hardee's had a chili dog.
Oh yeah, they have a wonderful chili dog. But if you don't want it with onion, just tell them you don't want it onion. They'll put the chili sauce on it. But they make a good hot dog.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know
do.
At Hardee's.
That's one thing Troy doesn't have that Birmingham had. Every corner was a hot dog places. You don't see a lot of hot dog places.
Sneaky Pete's hot dogs are all over Birmingham. Is that right?
Oh, you had Gus's, you had Pete's. I mean, you had Sam's. I mean, you had all kinds of hot dog places everywhere.
Making everybody hungry. The
show is sponsored today by Tums.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell you the best new invention ever was is my new cure for indigestion, and that is Alka-Seltzer, the chewable Alka-Seltzer. Have you tried that?
No.
Whoa! It'll cure heartburn in a second. It is really good, and it's chewable. It's delicious. It tastes delicious. Tastes like a candy, and it's an Alka-Seltzer for indigestion.
Wow.
And it is really, really good. We're gonna hold you on to the rest of the show, and we'll make this a special show next week.
Maybe somebody will call in and do 15 bowls since you're doing 10.
Exactly.
Hey,
oh
all
yeah,
right.
there will be. And what another great thing would be a donation. You know, $100 donation or a $500 donation. No better way to give than to give to the Salvation Army, because you know they're going to spend it right here in town, and it's just wonderful. Do y'all get a lot of donations?
What is our logo?
Doing the most
good.
Doing the most good, and it is delicious. Now, you know, this is a little expensive. Do you have somebody to donate this to you?
No.
You don't?
No.
So this costs you. We need to find somebody that'll donate this part right here, the container, because how about we got a container place out there called Cox Container.
They didn't. I checked there. They don't have that particular size. What I need. They didn't have what I needed.
Yeah, no question about it. Of course, Kim May, born and raised in Troy, and your sweet mama still resides at the same place you were raised. But,
yes. She's 90 years old.
And what a lovely lady she is. And I know Coach, your brothers, and they're wonderful guys and very involved in the community. And I know you're proud of them, too.
I am. We're very close family.
Yeah.
Been very blessed.
Exactly. Want to mention that
the men's Troy basketball team's coming on the road tonight at Georgia Southern. They're 12.5-point underdog. Tough place to play and win in Statesboro, Georgia tonight. So maybe they can play well tomorrow. Play well today and come back with a victory.
You know, I just think they're just short-handed. It looks like to me, Mike. No question about it. That's just where it looks from my end of it. I'd love to say that they're going to play them tough. Then they play Georgia, like you said, play Georgia State on Saturday. There's going to be a big alumni gathering up there on Saturday. It should be a lot of fun.
And Troy women's softball, of course, the preseason is out, and the Sun Belt has picked Troy softball to be number 2 coming into the season, so that's good. Yeah,
exactly. Mm-hmm. And if you want to feed one of these teams, go ahead and buy a bunch of Camp Stew and feed one of these teams, either the men or the women.
That would do it.
Basketball team, they'd love it, no question about it.
They're going to be playing softball in 9 days. It starts. That's amazing.
Well, Troy baseball starts on the 13th of February, and so that's going to be fun that weekend. They play Northern Kentucky. They play them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I think they got 2 doubleheaders, so they might play them as many as 4 to 5 times on that week. So baseball is right around the corner.
Played Northern Kentucky in any sport before?
Oh yeah, we've played them in baseball before.
Okay.
Over the years, they catch them coming down for the winter, and so forth. But again, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great time to buy Camp Stew, and of course we got cold weather coming back to us very soon. So not just during cold weather, but at any time, Camp Stew is good.
That's right. I like it any time.
And again, drop by and make your order today, or pick up the phone. What's your telephone number? Again?
Okay, at the service center at our store, it's 808-1069.
808-1069.
Or you can call me at 672-4481. and we will get your order in.
672-4481. And you know, it's so easy sometimes for some of us who are getting worse and worse remembering things. You know, the great thing about ordering them, you'll keep that order. Is that right? I
Yes.
mean, like if you order 5 quarts today, like I ordered 10 already, and it's going to be there for me, already identified under my name. So, you know, what I want to do is pick it up while it's warm and maybe eat some of it that day. But it's a great way to do it is to call in your order because it'll be there for you. And then, you know, let's just say they didn't forgot to come by, you can pick up the phone the next day and say, hey, we want to remind you that we got your order if we need it. So if you do make an order, give them a telephone number. Is that
Yes,
right?
we always get everyone's phone number, and if they haven't come to pick it up by say 3 or 4 o'clock, we'll call people, remind them. And then if they can't make it, we will freeze it for them.
Yeah, no question about it.
We put their name on the top right here,
Yeah,
and we put it in the freezer for them.
that is wonderful, wonderful. Thursday, February the 6th, 2020, of course, is the annual, now you do this twice a year, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
The annual Camp Stew sale by the Salvation Army, and it's always a wonderful fundraiser. But more than anything, a wonderful opportunity for you to get some great Camp Stew.
Yes.
I'm talking about big-time Camp Stew, ladies and gentlemen. This is as good as you're going to get anywhere. Carter Sanders, the legendary Camp Stew guy, and he takes great pride in it, doesn't he?
He does.
Now, when you're helping him, I can say, you know, he'll reach out there and grab your arm. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. It's got plenty of garlic in that.
Well, we've made Camp Stew together enough. I know what to do and what not to do.
Yeah. Now, do you put...
And if I have a question, I just ask him.
You don't... now, again, this is straight... this is what I like about it. We're talking about ground beef. We're talking about pinto beans. We're talking about kidney beans. We're talking about...
You're talking about the chili.
Kansas, yeah, oh, gosh. That's what I'm talking about with chili.
The
But
chili.
with the Camp Stew, it's going to be beef. It's going to be chicken. It's going to be pork.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be potatoes. It's going to be tomatoes. It's going to be corn. It is going to be
Ketchup, hot sauce.
and a little hot sauce.
Yeah, we don't make it very hot
Yeah.
because
Oh,
you can add
don't. You're
more.
right.
Because, you know, we're selling 800 quarts.
Yeah, that's right.
So we don't want it too hot.
Yeah,
for
I
some
don't want it
people.
too
That's
hot
right.
either. You
So
know.
we make it kind of mild,
It's
so
really
you can
good.
you can make it hotter at home.
It's really good. And, of course, we are looking forward to it. And, again, Thursday, the pickup starts at 12 noon. Now, there's not going to be anybody standing outside handing it to you or anything like that. Is that right? You got
Have
to
to
walk
come
in and get it.
inside.
Is that right? You walk in and get it. And while you're there, browse around and buy some other things, you know.
Correct.
Is that right?
That's right.
And, of course, again, Kim, it's always nice to have you on our show, and we appreciate you and what you do for the Salvation Army. And, again, one last time, this Thursday, it will be the pickup for the delicious Camp Stew. It'll still be warm, won't it? It'll still be warm, probably, won't it?
Yeah, it will.
It'll still be warm, and if you want to have it for lunch, you probably can by picking it up Thursday, starting at 12 to what time?
I'll be there. We close the store at 5,
All
but
right.
I'll be there till 6.
All right, so 12 to 6, there'll be there somebody there.
Yes,
Now,
for you to pick up your Camp
If they
Stew.
write a check, they write the check out to the Salvation Army, and that will be good enough to get your deduction right there. A check made out to the Salvation Army, and again, if you want 5, you write the check for 50. If you want 4, you make your check for
Absolutely.
40. Or if you want a check for 100, say I just want 5 stews, they'll do that too.
Yeah.
But we're gonna make sure you get stew if you want it, or if you want to donate extra, say give me 5 stews and I want to donate the other 50.
We'll
So,
take it. We'll take it.
You'll do that we're raising money to help the unfortunate people that y'all deal with every day.
Every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed our show. We'll see you again bright and early in the morning. Of course, you can watch this show again. Remember, you can watch this show again at 1:30, right here on Troy Cable. And we'll be talking about the Camp Stew sale for the Salvation Army. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you, Mike Amos, for calling in from Great Beach. And, of course, Kim is our dear friend. And, of course, she does such a great job with her program, the Salvation Army's Camp Stew sale. We'll see you tomorrow, bright and early, for Today in L.A.